A 90-day interim agreement was announced this morning by U.S. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent. This is 90 days for the tariffs between China and the U.S. to get to a more reasonable level. It's just an interim period while they negotiate out what's going to happen. Tariffs that the U.S. was charging on China were up to a level of 145%, and that has come down to 30%. We're going to go through some items that business owners need to be doing during this 90-day period. We don't know what's going to happen after the 90 days. Maybe everything returns to normal the way it was previously, but we really don't know. And as a business owner, you need to make sure that you're prepared for it. Highlights from the deal: it's 90 days only. U.S. tariffs dropped from 145% down to 30%. China's tariffs dropped from 125% down to 10%. So really, here again, we don't know what's going to happen after this is over with. We need to act fast just to make sure that your business is prepared, that you're prepared. Economists have predicted that there would be a recession if these tariffs stayed in place. We weren't really seeing too many signs of that, but nevertheless, we always need to be prepared. First off, everybody really needs to reassess your supply chain strategy. This doesn't matter if you're actually buying a lot of products from China. You need to look at what the products that you are buying, where they are coming from. We were looking at our toner for our copy machines here in the office. We were looking at a lot of little things that we need, ink that comes in. A lot of that comes from China. We want to go ahead and pull that in. You just don't want to be handicapped because you have a printer that's down or because your mail meter is down. These are little things that you really need to look at. And you need to explore some type of China plus one production, China plus one policy. Larger companies do this. Most larger companies are going to a China plus two or China plus three. That means they source the materials that they need, the products that they need from China, but they also have another source that they can get it from that's not produced in China. It's a good time to review and have buffers of any inventory that you need. A lot of folks say, well, most of my materials are made here in the U.S., in the United States, but look for some, or most of the materials are made here in the U.S., but look for some of the tools that you use as well. I know in construction, a lot of these parts and these products for nail guns, for a lot of the cosmetic supplies are made in China. You need to look for anything that you might be using that's from China and get an inventory of it. Now's the time to do it. And then document these changes just so you have a little bit more resilience. As with business, it's a learning process. Most of these problems that we have, we will never have the same problem twice. So document what you do, kind of keep track of it, and make sure that these new processes are followed for any time a new vendor comes on, or there's a new type of product that you're needing, or it's just as simple as stuff on Amazon that you're buying to keep your business running. You need to be looking at that. The second part that the number 2 of the 5 I want to talk to you about is reviewing the cash flow in your budgets. Everybody should have a budget for their business, an annual budget, and also want to be tracking cash flow on a monthly basis. What cash inflows and outflows, what clients or customers do you have that might be affected by this? If it's somebody that is importing a lot of their merchandise or their products or the materials that they're using from China, they will be affected by this. This is a reprieve for them, but you might also want to look at your business and how it's going to be affected, even though it's a few businesses down. Compare your budget to your actuals. Really understand those numbers and what's driving them. Why is there a difference there? Make a 90-day savings goal of how much you can save and just keep in the bank account. You might even want to open up a little bit of a savings bank account so that you have some extra cash there if needed, a cushion. And most importantly on this, monitor your accounts receivable and also monitor your accounts payable very closely. Sometimes during any type of economic upset, cash becomes a lot more valuable. And so you want to make sure that you're getting paid on time. If you're not, there's a problem there that you need to dig into. And you also want to make sure that you're taking advantage of the payment terms for your payables. And I would even say go look further into the coming months on if there's going to be any large expenses, maybe a software renewal or another project that you have coming on that's going to require some additional expenses, some additional outlays of cash. And just reconciling the bank accounts goes without saying in my world. You want to make sure that your bank account is always tying to your balance sheet, and therefore that's tying to the profit and loss. Everybody needs to be looking at their pricing. I see a lot of our clients who really need to increase their price. They're leaving a lot on the table. Their prices have not increased along with what the market is willing to pay for their goods and services. And also look at how the tariffs may impact that. This needs to culminate into weekly sales goals as well, and really understanding what sales are being made, to whom, to which group, and why. There needs to be some type of, if it's the business owner that's doing the majority of the sales, there needs to be a monitoring of some type of customer reactions. What are the customers saying? If you have a sales team that is such a great resource, you should be able to pull a lot of really good information out of the sales team. They will be able to tell you what the customers are saying. The sales team with talking points, especially if you're increasing prices. Now's a great time to do it. There's an opportunity here for a lot of us to increase prices. But now is the time to optimize any tax planning. There's so many companies that are leaving money on the table here. You do not want to leave cash on the table when there's something just as simple as doing correct tax planning. It takes work, but it's great time right now because you can plan for the tax impact of these inventory changes, maximize deductions. It's also a great time. The market is taking off today. It'd be a great time to make certain that your retirement is in good shape, and then document all these decisions. Number 5, make sure that you are communicating these changes, these issues with your employees. Align the teams on the new priorities that you have. Make sure they understand and that you are arming them with the tools that they need. And this is just a little bit of a bonus, but for there's these 5 main points. Also, you want to look at your marketing. Now might be a good time to lock in some better rates on marketing. You want to message price stability after you've made that price increase. Send customers a newsletter. Make sure that you're connecting with the customers. Make sure that you're talking to them. Send little thank you notes out to your key customers. You want to keep those lines of communications open. Align your ads with the mood of the market. I think that mood's going to be getting better here. I think that we're probably, I haven't heard of any economists talking about a recession as of today, whereas last week that seemed like all of them believed that we were headed for a recession. One of the things, run short promos to just get some fast wins. If you have a business that you can run some short promos, get some quick emails out. Hey, if they buy within the next 48 hours, they get a certain discount. Those are some really good promos that you can get you just some really quick wins coming in. I'm Randy Martin at IRSprob.com. We help good people with IRS problems. That is planning. That is tax audits that we've been seeing an uptick in. We've been seeing more of those. That wasn't expected. And then also with IRS collection issues. If you just have more than you're able to pay, you need to give us a call. If you have prior year taxes, back year taxes, what the IRS calls delinquent taxes that haven't been filed yet, you need to give us a call at 214-214-3000. That's IRSprob.com, IRSprob.com.